Welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Creative Season YouTube channel. Well, we're doing something a little bit different. I am putting together a project for my mom. It is her birthday. It was actually her birthday yesterday by the time this is producing, and I am putting together all of the art as we have been doing this in between season. And so we're finishing up as I take all the art from the garden series, or several pieces, and I create a photo journal for my mom. And you can see in this piece, I'm just doing a very quick show of this very messy sketch, but I'm going to go through and show you how you can create your own really gorgeous journal from scrapbook paper, a manila envelope, and your art. So enjoy. Hey, I am back. I'm at home. It is in between season, like my whole life. You can tell the back, the walls are in between, everything's in between, and we're finishing up this in between season series with making a gift for my mom. So I'm getting out all sorts of things that I have around the house. So a glue gun, I found a bunch of scrapbook paper. I have a 9x12 manila envelope. I am basically going to put together and create a journal. I call it a photo journal. I use a bunch of scrap paper for the background, and I'm going to use the art and create a way to log all the art. This art in the garden series was all art inspired from the garden that my mom and I planted together in her new home this past summer. So lots of meaning for both of us. It was just a wonderful project to do together, and I want her to have this memory. I thought about framing pictures, but honestly, a lot of this art was very much journal style. I was learning how to paint masses of leaves and vine, and didn't really think it was worthy to go on walls, if you know what I mean. But I thought I did want her to have a way to remember it. It is very special to me. So if you've ever created a journal out of scrap paper, this is going to be something familiar to you. But if it's new to you, it's a fun way really to create a homemade journal with what you already have around the house, or with some very inexpensive supplies, as well as a way to incorporate a lot of the art that might otherwise pile up. It's a great way to create it in almost an art book and gift it to someone very special. There's going to be areas where I'm going to write some things down. I will show you how it turns out at the end, and then I'll show you some time lapses of it all coming together. So we'll be back to painting a new series, an autumn series. It is finally turning to fall. I'm so excited, but I wanted to give you a little introduction to what we're doing today, and I would love any feedback you have in the comment section below. Hey everyone. Okay, so if you've never created a journal before out of scrapbook paper and feel intimidated, I'm about to take all that intimidation away. It is so easy. A dear friend of mine, Karen, she showed me how. She had learned, I think, from a couple of online people and YouTube and bloggers and vloggers and all the things, and she was able to teach me this. I'll have to ask her who it originally was. It was probably a couple of years ago, and I just fell in love. So this is what you're going to need. So you're going to need a manila envelope, just like a 9x12 manila envelope. I really like the white ones. If you have yellow ones, that works too. We cover it, but I just like having that clean white paper. I am using a bunch of 12x12 paper. This just happens to be a pack of scrapbooking paper I have. It is really nice because it's already 12x12. And so the reason that is so lovely, I'm going to lift up the camera a little bit more so we have a bit more of a wider view here. Oh, I just took the whole thing off. All right, let's do this. Perfect. Now we can see just a little bit more space here. Is that I have this paper, and what I do, it's really simple. You're just going to cut a bunch of pieces. Fold them in half. You don't even have to have any fancy cutting equipment. This is slightly not even, so just make it as even as possible. And then what I do is I just go ahead, I match it up to that bent manila envelope, and I just take off that edge. Feel free to just fast forward this if you want to see the end result, and I'll be pulling that out too. And now I have a page for my book. And so what I've done that a bunch of times, and I have basically gathered several pages together, and then the inside, this part, I include in there as well, and I just start folding them and making like a book. I haven't attached anything yet. And then I like to attach, like I have an old hymnal, and so I thought this hymn was so perfect for the garden. God is working his purpose out. I love that in the garden because, you know, there's only so much we get to do. We get to take care of the soil and plant the seeds and water and protect from bugs and all the things, but we are not the ones who make the lid grow, right? Just such is with our lives as well. God is the one who helps us grow and healing and growth and flourishing and all the things. So I've got a bunch of things in there. I'm going to be putting some envelopes in here too, and I'll create some pockets. Now for my envelope here, I just picked out the paper that I wanted for my cover. I'm going to be glue gunning it on. So I'll glue gun that on. I will be incorporating some of these pages within here as pages as well, and probably putting a little hole punch in there. Actually, I won't even need to, I think. I think I might do that, but you're gonna see me using this as a pocket for some of them. I'll probably take this one, for example, and maybe even create a pocket here. And that's gonna be really easy. I am just gonna take my glue gun. We just love the glue gun for these kind of projects. And I am going to go and create all of this nice layer of glue. Try not to burn your fingers. I'm always doing that. And this is perfect because we were working a lot of times with the 6x9 for our watercolor paper. So the angle of this, the size that we have is just works out really, really well. The 6" in length, because basically our middle folder is 6 inches long, and I think it is 9 inches high, which is a lot of what our art is. So I'm gonna stop this recording. I'm gonna start working on it. I'll put it in time lapse so you can see it going fast, and then let you just get a glimpse of it, and then we'll go through it at the end. Maybe we'll just go through it at the end. Even on time lapse, it might be a little bit dull, but I will show you how it all turns out. I will, of course, make some changes, but it's gonna be super cute, and I'll show you the whole thing that I'm gonna give my mom for her birthday. Okay, guys, I'll see you back here in just a couple of minutes. Hey everyone. Okay, so I wanted to come back and show you the finished, well, almost finished project here. Before, I'll probably spend a little bit of time this evening adding some more notes, but again, I wanted to show you how this turned out. So as we talked about beforehand, I had taken basically a lot of art and scrapbook paper, that 9x12 manila envelope, folded it together and created a journal for my mom to celebrate the garden that we had together. And so I used a lot of florals paper. So I'm just going to show you some of the art. You can see here too, I have some of this wildflower art that was actually a different project, but it went together really nice. You're going to notice too, I have a lot of like different embellishments, nothing too fancy. You might see journals that have like lots of lace or fancy corners. I don't have any of that. I really knew I needed to get this done within a couple of hours. So this is the beginning, the introductory page. I put a little sticker here. I'll probably put another sticker, and then this is going to be a note part where I just write a letter to my mom. So I kept that blank for now because that'll probably be pretty personal. I'm just going to do a few things, like I forgot to date some of these and just sign. So I'll just go ahead and put the date right over here. This is that jalapeno pepper that I had painted earlier this year. You notice I'm trying to keep the colors of the paper somewhat at least complementary. This was the palette that we had used if you were painting along with me in the garden palette. This is a space, I may end up putting a picture here. I'm getting a couple printed, and so I thought I'd put a picture and then I put a little, just some writing. But you can see too, I had put down all of our seeds and plants, the dream, because some of them didn't quite make it. But again, I find that we forget so many things, right? That adding in notes in these journals really remind us of where we were, what we were doing. And again, this is kind of, it's personal, and yet it's not like super secretive personal, right? Just a sharing of a project that my mom and I did together. My mom loves zinnias, and so this I know is going to be a really special page for her. I ended up taking this piece of art, and I have a new line of stickers that are coming from this zinnia. So be on the lookout for those. Those stickers are probably going to be available later this week in the Etsy shop, and I'll have a link to those. But I really loved how this painting turned out. And then in continuing on, I have another couple places where I'm going to include some more notes. I try to trim down some of the artwork. Again, as I pointed out earlier, a lot of this work wasn't really work that I was going to felt good enough to like frame, but it was just really working through that beautiful garden. And so helping my mom remember, we love getting our tomatoes. There is nothing that tastes as good as tomatoes from the garden, right? I just really think so. So the tomatoes at the store, just don't work. Okay, and then I'm going to keep going. Our squash, our zucchini were definitely the star producer of the year. And so what I did too is I went to the store and I got some more zucchini, and really more of the memory. I don't even know if they're going to be good next year, but planting the seeds for our garden for next year, just kind of keeping this in as a fun way. This was a fun way to remember what we've done and to, you know, plant seeds of hope for the future. This was, I had used a lot of the paper. I will, the watercolor paper scraps, I'm going to close my window. It is finally cooling off, but boy, that wind's a little bit noisy. I had done a lot of palettes, right? This was, I think, for the eggplant blooms. And so what do you do with the watercolor paper with those palettes? Well, it makes a really cute envelope, and I'm going to bring this closer so you can see that. And I have all the colors down here, so it's just little notes. And you know, I may come through too, and I'm even going to put another sticker. I have a lot of stickers. I was joking with a friend, I have just turned in like this sticker hog, put every moment matters here, where I'm trying to use them more or share them or put them in journals. So continuing on, now this is the middle, and so how we secure the whole binder or the whole book is I'm just do a ribbon, which is great because if I wanted to add pages, I can just untie the bow. But I just use this yellow ribbon I did pick up from Michael's today, and then I have written out, I just did a very little sketch, a very pretty messy sketch, but of our garden plot. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that was because we had put the tomatoes like right in the front, and they grew up and then they hid the sun from like the bell pepper and the jalapeno and the eggplant behind. So just a note, put tomatoes in the back next year. Again, the things you forget, right? But I wanted us to have a little reminder of what our garden looked like the pumpkins that went all over the rocks that were in the back, and the chubby zucchini squash. So again, just a way to memorialize our project together. And then continuing on, these are star performers, our zucchini. The blossoms were just absolutely prolific, absolutely prolific. So coming down, and then I have in here some more seeds. My mom loves zinnias. They are such her favorite flower. I was gonna maybe like do something, I thought, like take out all the seeds and create a little envelope. Like, wouldn't that be cute? But I think I felt like I was running out of time a bit too, and I really wanted to finish and have this completed before her birthday. So I might be doing another garden themed photo journal, and I will definitely take some seed packs and do some creative art with them. This was a sunflower. My mom loves sunflowers that I had made. I know you'll notice too, I glued some of my art, but I also were using these really oversized chunky paper clips, which I love. And so some of them I'm just paper clipping them in. And some of them, this was a flower that I had painted some time back for my mom. I may need to trim that down. It's sticking out, but it kind of looks like a bookmark. And then again, I have all these nice little bookmarks, the art. What I like is I finished up this particular journal. We live here in Northern California, and there's some herbs that grow nicely if you plant them in September, October. So I had just put a little message of what we can do, like planting some herbs in anticipation for a little winter harvest and seeds for next year, right? And then what I really love with manila envelopes is you have this really nice envelope inside, which when I do my memory journals, it's fabulous because then if I have cards or if I just have pictures, I can just stick them in. It's really kind of nice, or like just ideas, things. I could even take some of those, the seeds and just stick them in there, and you have a nice little pocket that holds things. So, and then finally to finish up on the back, I just put a little stamp of where I made it. And that is the journal for my mom. I'm hoping that she really likes it and that it just is a wonderful gift for her. And I wanted to show you guys, and I'm hoping too that this inspires you to use your beautiful art that you create. There's so many ways to gift it, to use it to decorate, to create memories, and to use your painting and your gifts for really special purposes, adding beauty to the world. This is something that friends and family I know will appreciate. And so I hope you've enjoyed this beautiful journal that I've created. And I hope it's inspired you because, as you can tell, I am not a perfectionist. Like, it's more important for me to get this project completed so I have a gift to give than to get hung up on not having everything super, super neat. Now, if you are a perfectionist, you are going to make sure to give yourself a little extra time to get all those edges. And honestly, yours journals are going to look so much probably more beautiful than mine. But I'm hoping this encourages those of you who feel intimidated by this, that it's actually quite easy and fun. And you really get into a rhythm when you start taping and glue gunning and doing sketches and putting these all together. Anyone can do this. Very simple equipment, nothing fancy, and it's really just lovely. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely beautiful week. I'm going to see you next week, and we're going to start our new fall series. So until next Wednesday, have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.